My name is Dariusz, and on this channel I do a lot of smartphone camera comparison videos, and today the X200 Ultra versus 200 Pro. Just to be fully transparent, I have actually purchased this device for my own money, so let's get started now. Okay, starting with stabilization, ultra wide angle on both, and I love how much wider the field of view is on X200 Ultra. We've got exactly the same sensor as the main camera, which is brilliant. We should be able to see the difference, especially at night. Okay, and you can see how much wider it is. On the top of that, the main camera is 35mm, which I really like. However, when I'm going to be taking pictures, it's going to be challenging to keep the same focal length, so I'll try my best to keep it similar so you can see the difference. Okay, but let's move on to the main camera. And then you can see that the Ultra is just cropped in. This is stabilization. And let's go to the optical zoom now. Again, you can see that Ultra is just a little bit closer. But let's explore this beautiful park and take some pictures now. This is a selfie camera, and we've got identical sensors. This is quality. I am recording in 4K 60 FPS using Dolby Vision, which is really nice. But let's compare selfie pictures now. Just to show you that I was using the same settings. For instance, here for the landscape, I always switch all the additional filters, and when I did portrait photography, as you can see, the aperture is exactly the same, and the beauty effects, oh, it's classic, you see. Good job. I looked at it now, it's none. So we got exactly the same results, hopefully. By the way, only 5% of people that watch my content regularly are subscribers. Remember, the bigger the channel, then quicker I'll be able to get my hands on these devices. Sadly, you know, the Ultra has been out for a bit, but I wasn't able to get the review unit. But I still purchased this, not this, just for you. Now I have switched to portrait video mode on selfie camera, and I must say I like how much wider the field of view is on Ultra. Also, the colors look a little bit more natural from what I can see with my eye here. But so far, I'm gonna say they actually look amazing. I have switched to Ultra Stabilization, and again, this is not available on Ultra Wide Angle on the Pro version. However, it is available on Ultra. Look at that. You know, so if you go like action, running around, chasing kids, you know, just playing around like me, or biking, then you'll be happy with, especially the ultra wide angle on the Ultra. Really impressed. Maximum zoom times 20. Still recording in 4K 60 FPS. Wow, look at the quality here. And switching back to ultra wide angle. I switched to portrait video mode, and it's 4K, which is really nice. This is blurry background effect. Remember, I was using exactly the same settings for both of these devices, but you can see that now we have ultra wide angle available on Ultra, which is not available on the X200 Pro. But let's have a look at some portrait photography now. This is the quality using maximum optical zoom, and I have to say, look at that blurry background effect. It looks so natural. Wow. But let's have a look at some macro photography. I almost forgot to mention that we've got this dedicated shutter button, like in the camera. And again, I forgot about it because I don't really like using it. You know, you can press it and then you take a picture. However, when you slide it across, then EV compensation changes. I'm not sure if there's a settings for aperture maybe, or zooming in. I'll have to play around with this later. But let's have a look at some low light conditions now. Maximum zoom. It's night, 4K, 30 FPS, this is the quality. And switching back to ultra wide angle.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
This is portrait video mode at night. I'm using exactly the same settings, so we should be able to see the difference, hopefully. And so far, I must say that I'm very impressed with Vivo X200 Ultra, the way it takes pictures, about the flares. Vivo X200 Pro is struggling sometimes. However, now the quality seems better, at least it's brighter on Vivo X200 Pro. Interesting. But let's carry on with my review. Okay, I must say that I'm very impressed that the new Vivo X200 Ultra is capable of portrait video mode on ultra wide angle, and we are limited to main camera and the telephoto lens on X200 Pro. So far, they look pretty similar with the video. However, the picture quality with the pictures is just mind-blowing on the Ultra version. But let's have a look at some portrait photography now. Now this is 4K 120 frames per second, and again the Vivo X200 Ultra is capable using this feature with ultra wide angle. However, now I just switch to the main camera so we can see the difference. Which device is your favorite so far? Is there a huge difference between them? Let me know, and we're gonna have a little conclusion. Just a little conclusion to finish off this camera comparison, and I'm using the X200 Ultra, and I must say, after watching this on the big screen, this is way better. But when I started this camera comparison, taking a few pictures, especially some portraits, I did not see much difference. But when you get closer, especially at night with the flares and the image quality, you know, using portrait video mode like I'm using now with the ultra wide angle, this is a really great feature. So what do you think? Is this worth upgrading from the Pro to Ultra? I will be putting my SIM in this device, I think, because it's just the best device for the camera at the moment, in my opinion. I am doing another camera comparison, so make sure you stick around, and I'll catch you next one. Cheers.